What if I told you that I almost lost over $150,000 just trying to immigrate to Canada? And if you're thinking about moving to Canada or you're already in the process of immigrating to Canada, you're an immigrant right now, this video is an important wake-up call. Hey, what's up? Teacher Mike here. And again, if you don't know me, I'm the founder and teacher at ExpressPrep.ca, where we help immigrants become residents by unlocking an awesome CELPIP score and improving your English. I got my max CELPIP score, 12, and now I help people like you do the same. I'm an immigrant just like you, and I'm super happy to be able to help you. Now, I moved to Canada back in 2016, and today I want to walk you through the real cost of immigrating, from college tuition to visa fees to daily expenses, and how, if you make a simple mistake, it would all be for nothing. So let's break it down. Number one cost, college tuition from 2017 to around 2019. Because when I first came to Canada, I was in a 2-year college program because that was the way to immigrate back then. Most international students pay around $7,000 to $8,000 per term, maybe a little bit more expensive depending on the programs, but that's what I paid back then. And you do 2 terms per year, right? And you do it for 2 years. So it is going to be around $28,000 or maybe $30,000 just in tuition, right? So $7,000 times 4 times 2. That's before books fees. There's other fees included, but I'm talking about the most important expenses. And remember, you put that money before you really know if your immigration plan will work out. When I immigrated, you only had to pay your first term, and then you could work to make the money for the rest. And now I believe that rules are more tight, so you may need more. An important note is that you don't know if your plan is going to work while you're doing this. So as you're in college, you don't know. This is why it's so important to have good advice, even pay for good advice, such as good consultants to help you during this time. And at the time, I actually did not have a consultant, and I went for a normal business school, a very simple diploma. It worked out, and I'm successful in Canada now. I have my business, it's all good, but it could have gone badly. Anyways, the topic of this video is not how to decide what to study or what to do in Canada. I can make a video about this if you want. Let me know in the comments, but let's continue. Number 2, working during and after college. So during college, I was allowed to work part-time, which is about 20 hours a week. And after graduation, you apply for this thing called post-graduation work permit. So I would be able to work full-time. But those things, of course, come with its own costs. So every visa application you make, you have to pay some fee, $250, maybe $300. Sometimes you have to take a medical exam, which I didn't need for PGWP, but I did need for my first visa and for the PR, which is around $250. I'm not 100% sure of the rule, but sometimes you take the medical exam, sometimes you don't. And so just in fees alone, that's another $500 just to be able to work after you study. And if you fail to get PR after all of this, you lose all of your investment. And here's where things got really tricky, because basically I had to work to get experience, and that's what I did. And I was lucky enough to have been able to apply to get PR in 2021, but my official PR card only arrived 2 years later due to some delays in the process. But this just goes to show how important planning is when moving to Canada. I started in 2016 when I moved, and then college started later, and then I only applied for PR in 2021, and I only got my PR card in 23. So look at how long it takes. All the steps that could have gone wrong or bad, or I could have just given up in the middle of the process because it's so hard. And yeah, I know you want me to tell you how I almost lost it all, so let's get there in a bit, okay? Number 3, another one of the most expensive things you're gonna spend is your monthly living expenses. So let's talk about how much I spent around from 2017 to 2019, because that's when I was studying in college. I was living as cheaply as possible. My rent was a $600, maybe $700 a month. Let's say $600, that's the average. My groceries were like maximum $400 out of a month. And this is, of course, without high-end food, basically no eating out, no dates with girls. Thankfully, I met my wife in 2019. I did better by then. My transit pass, $100, and phone, internet, whatever, maybe an extra $100. So a minimum that you're gonna spend every month is $1,100. Mind you, I'm giving you here like the lowest of the low. I don't think it's possible anymore to live at $1,000 a month in Canada. Minimum single person around $2,000 a month. I would say minimum. But I'm giving you guys a lowest estimate possible just to show you how much I could have lost. Okay, so if we make the math, in 24 months, that would be around $26,400. And then again, that's being extremely conservative. Many students spend more. I probably spent more. Okay, I'm just being super conservative on my costs back then. Okay, so remember, I only applied for PR in 2021, but my costs had gone up considerably. Of course, from 2019 to 21, I was already making more money. I was working in a company in Canada. I was also building my own business at the time, which was a different business than this one here that you're watching the YouTube channel. But let's assume that I was spending around $4,000 a month from 2019 to 2021 when I applied for PR. So that's another $96,000 just in living expenses, okay? Just on rent, food, whatever. Okay, so here's what happened. At that time, I was so tired, I was so overworked, I was juggling multiple things at the time, you know, as you do as an immigrant, and I was this close of giving up. I had just had my first kid, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I should not apply anymore. Life in Canada is not easy. My kid is already Canadian, so he can go to Brazil and still be Canadian. And just gathering the documents to get the PR, the costs, everything was so difficult. I had so little time because I applied during this short window in 2021, and I was almost giving up, and I was almost saying, you know, never mind. I don't think I wanted this much. Life is too hard right now. I'm just gonna go back to my comfort zone in Brazil. But I found some motivation from good friends and strength, talked to my family, and I said, okay, I'll finish the process. Let me get through this. And I applied for the PR. So in 2021, I applied for the PR, and thanks to the CELPIP score I had at the time of the application, I got it. So after studying and working, I applied for my PR in 2021, and the only reason I was able to apply with confidence was because I scored 12 out of 12, a maximum score on CELPIP. But not only that, I achieved that score before I needed it, because by the time I applied it, I had only a small window of time, and if I didn't have the test ready, I would actually not have had time to take the test to apply, because that was a short opportunity in 21. So that score gave me the maximum I could for the language, but not only that, it gave me the chance to apply for a PR in time. So again, CELPIP fees, around $300 per attempt. Many students do it multiple times, but I did it once, of course. But yeah, I had a strategy. I prepared the right way. I got the 12 and I submitted my PR and I got approved. That one score, that one decision saved the entire investment, because without that final step, everything would have gone to waste. $100 and something thousand. And by the way, let's do the math right now. What would I have lost if I had failed CELPIP? Or let's say, what if I had lost if I had given up? Because the only thing that makes you fail is if you give up. So let's do some quick maths. So at a minimum, tuition is going to be around $28,000. Living expenses for around 4 years would be around $122,400. Fees and PGWP, etc., I'd say $600. And then, of course, the CELPIP test, $300. Coming to a total of $151,300. Now, you can add other costs like flights, visa renewals, other things. The PR fee itself, I didn't even add it there for you. Emergency costs while I was job hunting, although I was never jobless. And I had a kid in the middle of this process, my first son. You are easily looking at around $200, but just to give you the exact number, at least over $151,000. And if I hadn't got my CELPIP score, if I had failed getting my PR, maybe given up, that money would be completely gone. That money would have been for anything. I would have gone back to Brazil and start life again over there. Immigrating to Canada is a dream for many people, but it's also a serious investment. It's an emotional investment as well. So if you are going to do it, if you are here in Canada, make sure you do it right. And to do it right, I'll say usually you just need two things to do it right. Number one, you need a good strategy. What's the proper strategy for your PR? And number two, you need a good score on the language component. For most of you, that's CELPIP. English. So look, before we close this video, I want to tell you that if you are preparing for CELPIP or you want to get your PR soon, we have a Black Friday deal going on right now. Now, this is only right now if you're watching this video before November 27th, okay, or during November 27th, during Black Friday of 2025. So there's a link down below to join my exclusive WhatsApp group where you can participate in my special Black Friday, Black Week, where you're going to get 5 of my live immersions for the price of 1. We call this the fast track system, which is where during the course of a week, you access 5 of my live immersions completely live, and I'll show you the step-by-step of the test in 5 days. But the best part is, instead of paying for each individual immersion, because that's how we usually do it, you get to pay only for one. So you pay for one immersion, but you get access to the 5 full days. So if you want to get this awesome deal at an 80% discount, click the button in my description. It's a WhatsApp link. Join the WhatsApp group. I can't wait to see you there.